Oh, congratulations. You got an interview with your dream company. You're super excited and it's in a few days, so you're preparing for it. But do you know there are some things which can get you rejected almost on the spot? So your opportunity of getting into your dream company will be shattered. So today I want to be your savior and possibly give you 5 to 6 questions that recruiters will definitely ask and what not to say in an interview. What are the things you should avoid? And this will help you most definitely to get into the next rounds or to get a job at the company. Now, before we even get started with these points, if you want to become a successful UX designer, you can always start a journey with a design school. And our design school, Design Wings, will help you get started with your UX design journey and also get you placed in reputed companies. So one question that every recruiter or every designer will ask you is what your journey has been or how did you manage to get into UX design? Now this question can be reframed into anything, but the crux of the question will remain the same. Now this is the time to pitch yourself as an individual, as a designer. So the first thing that you need to remember is to avoid lame cliche stories that almost everyone will tell them. Things like, hey, my friend was a UX designer, so he recommended I should get into it. Or I was a developer, but I wasn't very good at coding, so I decided I can design apps or software instead. This is one of the questions where design recruiters will really judge you as a person, as a personality. And I'm not telling you to lie about it, but avoid cliche answers or straightforward answers. Make sure the story seems inspiring and seems passionate enough to them. A lot of times you can turn a boring old story into an interesting story. Let's take an example. You were an engineer or a developer and you decided that this isn't for me. So you got into design and you fell in love with it. You can always start with something like, I love code, but I also love the things that the code can create. So even though I have an understanding of development and coding, I loved research and design much more. So I started to practice and learn it from scratch. And soon I realized that design and developers work really well together. So now I have 2 superpowers that can really help any company get the best out of me as an employee or as an individual. And this gets me excited too, because the things that I love, things like research and design, I focus on. And at the end, when I have to do a handoff, I can always marry the design and development. So I absolutely love design, and that is why I am a designer today. See how a simple, I sucked at coding, but now I'm here, got converted into an inspiring story that can also help the business. Yes, it's always important to put in things of interest for the business while you are talking about your own journey as well. Again, avoid cliche stories. Make sure you convert an old story into a pitch for the design or designer recruiter to recruit you, isn't it? Another mistake they make under the same question, what was your journey, is to make the journey long. A lot of times you might have a long journey or you have a lot of experience as a designer, but you can stretch it out and make it 5 to 10 minutes long. However, you want to make sure that the explanation or your story is max to max 2 to 3 minutes long, because the interview is long and there are a lot of people they need to interview. So if you stretch it long, they will try to push the story away and they'll even forget about an interesting story that you just told them. So the pitch that I used right before this, the whole developer to designer pitch, that is max to max a minute or 2 long. And that shows your journey without getting into too much detail. If they, of course, ask you the details, go ahead and tell them that. The next question is kind of a negative question, but it comes from my own experience as a designer and how I messed up my interviews. Why did you leave the previous company, or why did you decide to take on a new role? Now, this question can be asked with anybody. It could be with a freelancer, with a full-time designer, or with a part-time designer. So whichever role you want as a designer in the company, this is a question they will always ask. Now, I always bitched about the company that I worked with. I told them the flaws and I realized later on why they are rejecting me. Because if I can bitch about another company or my previous company, I can definitely do that to them as well. So they want somebody who has a good relationship with their previous company, but still decided to do something for their own good. So in this case, it's always good to say things like, I had good growth there. However, the design team was slightly small. So my capacity to challenge myself and to learn something just got hindered somewhere down the line. So I decided I want to join a company with a larger design team, and that's something you guys already have. So I think I will be able to learn and grow more as a designer, as a creative person here, and will be able to challenge myself here as well. See how I framed that design team sucked to I couldn't grow myself as a designer there, and I didn't see a long-term relationship with them. Now, since that company already has a design team, they'll say, okay, this guy will stick here because this is what he is looking for. Now, another issue that comes up with this question is the individual or you going into the interview do not know enough about the company or the way they work. So oftentimes you might say something about your previous company that also exists here. And if you're not okay with those things, then oftentimes that'll be a red flag for the recruiters or for the designers interviewing you as well. So if you're someone who really wants to get into that company or looks at that company as a dream job, then make sure you do enough research. You ask around. If you have creative people in that company who you know or who are in your LinkedIn network, you can always ask them certain questions before going into an interview. That way you can frame these questions or answers a little better. Now the third one is actually not really a question, but is still a question. Oftentimes recruiters, even in the first round, will give you a small design project to finish in 45 minutes to an hour. These are small snippet design projects or small problem statements that they might hand over to you and ask you to either create a case study or create a solution for. Now, oftentimes the requirements or what they're looking for will be stated in a piece of paper or a sheet that will allow you to understand what they are looking for from this project. However, oftentimes they just hand over a design problem or a problem they have with a certain application, and that's it. They allow you to go a cappella on it and you can do whatever you like with that. Now, there are certain mistakes you can make, even though this is not a direct question, it is a question of your skill or talent in that particular field. So the first thing that you need to ensure is what is the role you are applying for. So if you're applying for a UI designer or a visual designer, make sure you don't get into the research and ideation of things. It'll be more of, okay, looking at the problem statement and designing proper solutions through design patterns and having an understanding of UI and visual in general. However, if you are a UX researcher and they've given you a problem statement, you have to look at it from a UX researcher's perspective. You might want to call a friend and talk to them as a user or as a potential client, and then put that into a documentation, show them your documentation skills, speaking skills, connection skills. Show them analytics around certain things that you might grab from Google or the internet. So these are things that they'll be looking out for because you're a UX researcher or you're a UI designer. So whichever role you are applying for, focus on doing those tasks around that project, and just to document every step so that they know your understanding behind it. Another problem that designers like you guys will be facing when doing this whole design project is you sit in that very room where they've left you in and you do all the research or the design. Don't do that. There was a personal connection of mine who attended an interview that I was taking or I was a part of. And in that case, he did something which was pretty extraordinary, and those people considered him at the end. He got up from his seat and he went to a restaurant right below the building, below the office building, and did some UX research or just some, talking to the restaurant people to figure out the problems those waiters or the restaurant managers had. And luckily that was his problem statement. It was around the food ordering solutions. So he went and did the research, took videos of it with the help of a friend. He got the role. Of course, he got another offer from another company, so he went there. However, he got accepted in that round itself because that was something extraordinary. He did something out of the box and something that most people don't do. So Don't be afraid to get out of your seat, go around the office, maybe talk to people or go downstairs, whatever is suitable for you. And that is how you really pin the nail in the wall. Why would you like to work for us or work here? Now, that's a question that will get you intimidated. So, it's kind of like a challenging question to you. Now, this question will come up in every interview towards the end of the interview, because once they've gotten to know you, they would like to know why you are here in the first place. So, the first thing is to start off with a little bit of banter or a little bit of fun. You can always say, "Hey, I need a job," and then laugh after it. Don't make it seem serious. If you don't have a funny bone, then avoid it. Now, on a serious note, this is the place where you really put yourself in the place of an employee in that company. You have to see why you are working here. Now, this is where going around and talking to people works. So you can always say, "Hey, I got to chat with some of your designers. I went up to them and asked them about certain things. And they were all about, how this company has a great work culture and how they are super happy to work for you guys." So that is a criteria that, I've already seen is present in your company. So that's a thumbs up from me. The other reason that I really wanted to work for you without even getting to know you guys is the fact that your company is very well known in the design field. They put their designs out on Dribbble, Behance. They really innovate. And I'm a person who loves innovation. I'm a person who loves to innovate myself. So if I get to do something innovative with your product, and which will in the long term help your product and fulfills KPIs, then for sure, I would love to work for a company like this. Okay, I kind of impressed myself also. I wish I had said these things in my interviews. So in this case, definitely avoid making your answers too cliche again, making it assumption based. So a lot of people will assume, "Oh, this company has great culture. Oh, I've heard of this. Oh, I might do this." Avoid the might and may and can, and say what you really want to do at the company. That will also show them that you have a direct communication and you're straightforward with them. Now, last but not the least, this question will get you confused because there's a chance you haven't prepared for it. Now, I won't cover where do you see yourself in 5 years because you guys have it covered. I will cover a question, which is the question of all questions. Do you have any questions from us? Now, this is something they always close with. Okay, so that's the last question. It's absolutely going to end the interview. The things to avoid here is to say, "I really don't have any questions. You made everything very clear." Or thinking like, No, don't do all of that because they are expecting you to have questions ready for them or to have questions aroused while you were in that position or while you were doing the interview. Also, avoid asking things about salary, monetary salary, benefits, all the cliche stuff that only the HR knows and they'll talk to you about it later, even if they choose you. So there's a question which I used as a key at the end in my own interviews was, you got to know a lot about me, but I would love to know what are the kind of designers that you always look for? What inspires you in someone else when you look at a designer or his work? That way, that is a spark in them. They realize this guy is not only all about money or just working here for an employee, but really can ask them great questions that they can talk about. Not your usual design tutorial, but I would like to quickly summarize this with all the things you should avoid. Avoid cliche, simple answers that you know even other people will give. Avoid asking technical questions or HR-based questions like salary or timings or Monday to Saturday or whatever it is. Don't consider them as your recruiters or somebody who's superior to you. Consider them your equal, okay? You want to talk to them on a personal level, on a friendly level, not on a, "Hi sir, how are you doing" level. Don't show them someone you're not. Make sure your answers are truthful and honest to yourself. And you keep everything, all the red tape in your past or all the politics or problems in the past only. And you concentrate and focus on this current opportunity. Also, avoid staying in a box, avoid staying in one room. Shift from here to there, talk to people, communicate, socialize, go out of your way. Don't just stick in your comfort zone or your comfortable box that you've been given. So that was some of the points that I had to lay out, some of the questions that mostly people ask. How to answer them and what to really avoid. Now, this is a video that will help a lot of people out. So I suggest sharing it on LinkedIn, tagging me, sharing it on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. You know my socials, they're in the description. Also check out Design Wings if you really want to start your career, and if you want more training like this that I gave you guys, do check it out. I will see you every time, Monday and Thursday, same time, same place. Remember that. See you next time. Till then, take care. God bless.